I know you are afraid of losing yourself, and that makes sense. But letting go and trusting God is the path that can get you back. Trying to control everything might feel safer, but it slowly takes away your peace and your joy. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes you will see something that could change everything. The first step will ask a lot of you, and it will cost you, yet it will set you free. The night traffic is loud and constant. My phone vibrates in my hand. A billboard keeps shouting more. Under all that noise, a small voice says, "Rest." I stop at the crosswalk and hold my breath, and for a moment, the whole city feels paused. During the day, the world trains my ears to hear one thing: build yourself, hustle harder, control the outcome, and you will be happy. Ads say it, friends repeat it, my calendar obeys it. Yet a quieter voice keeps coming back, asking me to put it down and rest. I want both, the crown and the quiet, the click and the peace. I am split, and the split aches. What if freedom needs a different kind of strength? I try to quiet the ache by turning the volume up. More goals, more apps, a new morning routine. I keep shaping my image until it shines, but my chest stays tight. I scroll through other lives and wonder if mine is late. I pray quickly like I'm sending a message into the dark. Then I rush back to work. The noise makes promises it cannot keep. It keeps me busy but never full. When I chase power, I fear losing it. When I chase praise, I fear silence. Either way, fear is what drives me. You cannot serve two masters, and my heart gets pulled apart. When that happens, trust starts to leak away. I forget the simple words I once knew. The words, "Be still and know He is God." I forget that rest is not laziness. Rest is alignment. I wonder which voice I have been feeding. Then one afternoon, the checkout line stops moving. There is no music and no background noise. A child laughs and the sound makes me breathe easier. In that quiet, I remember the words, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." That quiet nudge is not just another task. It is a person coming close. So I answer with a small, yes. I put the phone face down. I breathe. I say, "Here I am." I hand him one thing I am holding on to, how the day went. Then I give him another thing, the worry about tomorrow. The rush begins to ease. The ones who belong to Him know His voice, not because it is loud, but because it fits the heart He made. I open a page of scripture and sit with a single line. I take a slow walk without music. I forgive a name that still hurts. I let the shepherd set the pace. This did not happen quickly, and it did not come with a lot of noise. Some days the noise comes back and tries to take over, but I notice small changes. Peace is where panic used to be. Making decisions feels lighter now because I share them with other people. When doors close, they hurt less because I trust the person who closed them. Being still feels possible rather than forced. Letting go does not make me smaller. I am finally myself, supported and free. Today, pick one quiet thing. Take 3 minutes without screens. Offer a short whispered prayer, saying, "Jesus, lead me." Turn down one loud voice and ask for one small step. The world will shout, but the quiet voice will stay. It is 2 a.m. and the night air is quiet. The city hum is low, and the blue light from my laptop lights my face. My hands grip the edge of the desk, and my knuckles are white. In the silence, I hear a soft thought asking, "What if you put it down?" I built my life around plans and backups for the backups, and every win felt good for 10 minutes. Then the worry came back. I kept telling myself that freedom meant holding everything, but my chest stayed tight and my sleep was thin. Joy felt fake and forced. I smiled in meetings and swallowed the fear in the elevator. I live by one rule. If I let go, I believed everything would fall apart. Maybe you know that rule. The phone never stops. The to-do list just gets longer and more demanding, and you try every hack, new app, and morning routine, but the quiet ache does not go away. You carry family responsibilities on one shoulder and work on the other, and you hide how unsteady you are by moving faster. Even traffic lights feel like another stress. Dinner tastes like nothing, and your laugh feels fake. You plan A through G, and then wake up at 3 in the morning to plan H. And still a quiet part of you says not enough. You become your own rescuer, your own judge, and your own guard. And that is a lonely place to be. You pray sometimes, but only after you finish the mental spreadsheets. And even then you wonder if God is good, or if God is waiting to teach you a hard lesson. Holding on to control might look impressive in the mirror, but it digs into you and leaves you raw. One night, too tired to keep pretending, I remembered a line I had seen on a wall that read, "Come to me all who are weary," and I asked the room, what if surrender is not losing? What if it is finally being held? I opened my hands over the desk and breathed slow and slow out, then said, Jesus, I can't carry this. Your will, not mine. I named each weight and handed them over one by one. The job, the image, the fear, the future. I pictured a yoke that was easy and a burden that was light and stepped under it. Nothing dramatic happened, but my shoulders dropped and the tightness in my chest softened. The facts of my life did not change, but the need to be my own God cracked. Proverbs says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. And in that small trust, a quiet space opened where peace could sit. The next day the old pull came back and I reached for control out of habit, but I had learned a new move. Pause, breathe, give it back. A friend tried it too and said his panic eased on the train when he quietly said, I cast this care on you. Psalm 23 started to feel real, that he leads me and I do not have to lead everything. This was not running away, it was a father walking with me, setting the pace and carrying the heaviest part. If you are feeling heavy tonight, put what you are carrying down for a minute, open your hands where you are, and say, I am not my own Savior, Jesus, you carry me. Read Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30, before you sleep. Let go of what is wearing you out. And tomorrow, choose one small yes of trust. This happens in the kitchen around 3 in the morning. The house is still. The fridge hums softly. A thin strip of light comes in under the curtain. My chest is tight and my hand freezes. Then the first small bit of light appears. I have lived behind strong walls. I call that safety. I call that freedom. But the truth is I am afraid to let go. People have hurt me when I trusted them. So I worry that God might do the same. What if surrender makes me disappear? What if his plan costs too much? I keep the keys and hold the map, and I smile and say I'm fine. But inside the question is always there, and it burns. If I open up even a little, will I be safe? Control sounds brave in my head, but it feels heavy when I try to hold it. I make plans, I fix things, I double-check the locks. I say small, safe prayers so I do not have to feel the old hurt. At night the phone glows, and I scroll until my heart goes numb. A whisper comes anyway, soft and low, asking me to come and rest. My memories push back. Last time I trusted I got hurt. Last time I hoped the door slammed. So I work harder. I smile wider. I keep a list of backup plans. My body gets tired. Joy feels thin and distant, and it is not enough. Being still and knowing sounds nice, but it feels risky. I hold on. My fingers ache. The room is dark, and there is a thin line of light under the curtain. What if that crack is not a threat but a way back home? I take a breath, then another, a little deeper. A quiet thought comes to me. Maybe God is not like the people who hurt me. Maybe he is good. I try small steps, not a leap, just one step. I name the fear out loud. I tell Jesus the story that taught me not to trust him. I say that I do not understand, but I will give him one thing today, my schedule, my anger, my need to be right. I loosen my grip one finger at a time. In the silence, I feel peace come in. The weight shifts. It does not disappear, but it is shared. Freedom feels like finally being able to breathe. The invitation to come when I am weary feels less like a verse and more like someone putting a hand on my shoulder. Surrender does not mean losing who I am. It means being known and cared for by someone who knows my name. You are not the first to try this. I remember a fisherman caught in a storm who reached out and Jesus held him. I have seen a son who rebelled come home and his father run to meet him. I have watched hard faces soften when someone whispered a small yes. I have watched tears turn into quiet sleep. Even a tiny bit of faith can change what once seemed impossible. Your fear makes sense. God is patient. He will not break what is weak or put out a small flame. He is both gentle and strong. Tonight, do one small, brave thing. Open your hands and take a slow breath. Say quietly, be still, and know. Give one fear to Jesus. Look for the first small sign that things might change, and then move toward it. Tomorrow, say yes again. You will feel a little freer as you keep choosing this. It is just past midnight, and the kitchen is quiet. My phone glows on the table, and a message sits half-written with my finger hovering over the screen, and my chest feels tight. If I send it, I will lose control. If I do not send it, I will lose myself. The curtain lifts in a small breeze, and for a second I feel a choice sitting in the room with me. Fear sits heavy, and I keep thinking, what if surrender costs me my job, a friend, or the image I have built? What if God asks for more than I can give? The unknown feels sharp, and my old wounds whisper, "Do not trust." There is a quiet peace at the edge of the room that I cannot explain. I want to say yes, but the fear of consequences makes saying no feel safer, and that safety is a cage I know too well. My mind runs through the numbers, the headlines, every bad story I have ever told myself. I bargain with myself. I ask for more signs. I delay until it feels like I am in control. My jaw is tight. My thumb keeps scrolling, and the room feels smaller. I keep thinking, what if I do the safe thing and everyone leaves? What if I give and there is nothing left for me? I remember the words, "Be still," and know that I am God, but they barely reach me over the noise. I picture the fallout, the awkward conversations, a slow month of bills, the change in how people look at me. I try a half yes, a safer yes, a yes that costs nothing, and it tastes fake in my mouth. I know this weight, this way of saving myself, and it never saves me for long. The small voice does not push, it waits, and the waiting turns the noise up until I am tired of my own thoughts. Then a small memory comes back of Jesus in the garden, whispering, "Not my will, but yours," and I let that line sit in the room while I take one slow breath and my hand unclenches. I send the message. It is not heroic, it is honest. The first yes comes quietly. Nothing explodes and the ceiling does not fall. Something small happens instead. A calm settles in and I can finally breathe. My heart loosens and my mind finds room. This does not erase the unknown, but it ends my pretending that I can carry it all alone. The fear is still there, but it has lost its edge. I feel held, not by outcomes, but by a gentle presence. Words come back to me. "Come to me all who are weary, and I will give you rest." I realize freedom is not getting my own way. It is being with the one who is the way. The room feels larger, the night feels softer, and my yes begins to steady me from the inside. Fear returns sometimes because old habits do not vanish overnight, but the peace stays with me. A friend sends a text and prays for me without knowing why. A bill that once worried me becomes manageable. Morning light on the floor gives me a small bit of hope. I remember other times when he guided me and my doubt loses some of its hold. This is not magic. It is a process. Each yes becomes a step, and each step shows that he is safe. Boundaries feel more like doors than walls, and I walk through them a little straighter. Choose one small yes today. Whisper, "Lord, I trust you even here," and then do one small thing. Send the message, stop the secret plan, give back what is not yours, forgive the debt. Open your hand and breathe, and let the path come to you. Surrender is not giving up. It is finding a place to rest. Come and rest, and you will find that freedom begins with the first yes. Morning comes, and you wake after saying yes last night. The room is quiet. Then the phone lights up, the news scrolls, plans start to crowd in, and your chest tightens. Did surrender mean this? A new fight starts, small and close. Old patterns try to take control, and doubt keeps telling you that you were naive. You start planning 5 ways out of one situation. You pray but keep one hand on the controls. The timing of God feels slow and even unsafe. Silence feels risky, and you worry that letting go will make you lose what you love. Your mind loops through deadlines, outcomes, and all the what-ifs. You look for signs, and when you find none, fear starts making plans for the worst. Peace feels far away, and the yes you gave starts to feel shaky. The day gets loud, traffic builds, messages keep piling up. The coffee goes cold. You offer a prayer, then try to make a deal with whatever will listen. And you check your phone again, hoping for an answer. You compare your life to other people and feel behind. You keep working to push away the hurt and end up exhausted and hollow. When things are quiet, a thought hits you, and you think maybe God missed the details and maybe the calm was only temporary. You focus on what is shaking you instead of on the one who called. You start to remember the past as better than it was, even the parts that hurt you. You say the right words hoping for a sign. Midnight comes, and then 2 a.m., and every worry feels sharper. Trying to control everything seems like it will fix things, but it only takes your breath away. The yes you gave begins to feel like a risk you cannot afford. Then a quieter thought came to me. What if I am not fighting for a specific outcome, but for the ability to say yes? I need to be still and remember that God is with me. Maybe someone who cares is here even in the fog, and maybe the real victory is that I keep my hands open. You slow your breath and pray simply and honestly. Jesus, I trust you with the when and the how. You set your phone face down and do the next good thing in front of you. 5 slow breaths. You carry one verse in your pocket. Those who wait on the Lord find new strength. You write the date of your yes and why it mattered. You text a friend and ask them to pray that you will keep your hands open. You pick one boundary that protects your peace. You let God handle the outcomes, and you keep your part, which is obedience. Step by step, you keep your eyes on Him, not the waves. You do not rush the garden. You water the seed. A lot of people have walked this road. David waited for years, sometimes singing and sometimes crying. Hannah cried for a long time before joy came. Peter hit a low point and then felt the hand he had doubted. Waiting is not empty. It matters and it changes you. Shaking does not loosen His hold on you. He is kind and patient, not late and not careless. When you cannot run, He carries you, and when you cannot see, He guides you. He knows the way. If control shows up today, pause and quietly say yes, it is still yours. Keep your hands open. Take one small step of trust and let peace take care of the rest. Freedom grows while you wait. Your yes is safe with God, and your heart will learn to rest. I am running down a bright hallway with keys clinking in my hand. The doors ahead feel like choices, and it seems like they are all mine, but my chest is tight. The lights hum and the floor echoes. A quiet thought comes up, and I ask myself, what if this is not freedom at all? I grew up thinking freedom meant having no master and no limits, just following my own will. People told me to be my own hero, so I tried. I set goals, built walls, and kept the wheel in my hands. The cost was hidden at first. I found myself proving who I was every day with every choice. When I won, I worried about losing it. When I failed, I feared being nothing. My identity became a task instead of something I could accept. Maybe you know this feeling too. You carry the keys, but they feel heavy. You smile around others, while inside you keep asking, who am I if I stop trying to control everything? I thought control would keep me safe, but it only fed my fear. I worked late, scrolled more, and learned tricks to toughen up. I said I was free, yet I slept badly, and I felt short of breath. I said yes to things I hated because I did not want to look weak, and I said no to help because I did not want to owe anyone. I tried a rebellious streak, then a strict rules streak, and both left the same ache. Wins did not fix it, and applause faded in hours. I protected my image as if it mattered more than anything, and when I slipped, shame yelled at me to do better, and do more, and not stop. I acted powerful on the surface, but I was empty inside, and friends could not reach me. My faith became something I fit into my schedule, and I told God I had it under control. When I looked in the mirror, the truth was clear. I was already serving fear and pride and constant noise. The choices I thought were freedom hurt me, and the freedom I chased was really a cage I built with my own hands. One quiet morning, the noise stopped. I heard a voice on the radio, almost a whisper, saying, "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom." Then another line from my childhood came back, a simple invitation to come and to rest, because the load would be easier and the burden lighter. Something shifted inside me. Maybe freedom is not about having no master. Maybe it is about having the right one. I went to the window, opened my hand, and said a simple prayer to Jesus, giving Him the keys and asking Him to lead me. There were no fireworks, just a quiet peace and a little relief. I picked one thing to obey that day, small but real. I told the truth in places I had been hiding. I rested instead of pushing myself, and I listened. The weight eased little by little. I held on to His words that my yoke is easy, and that where the Spirit is, there is freedom. Obedience did not make me smaller. It made room. I no longer had to earn a name. I received one, loved, held, free. Even now I still feel the old impulse, but it does not control me anymore. Anger comes less sharply. My choices are clearer. I can say no without fear, and say yes without needing to prove anything. I sleep more deeply, and I laugh more easily. I am still myself, and the burden is not mine alone to carry. Many people before me have felt this too for centuries, and they say the same thing, that real freedom comes from living under a good king. A phrase stays with me when I forget that I am not my own, and that I was bought at a price. That humbles me, and it frees me. My identity is given, not earned. Today, try saying yes to one small thing. Say, Jesus, I trust you with this, and name what you are holding on to. Put your phone down for 5 minutes. Read Matthew 11, verses 28 to 30 out loud. Do one honest thing He is asking you to do. Then notice what happens when you stop trying to do it all on your own. I am standing on a quiet street at dawn, hesitating with one foot lifted because I need to decide. The city hums, my phone buzzes, and a narrow path runs along the fence. I feel pulled between trying the path or staying with the crowd, and by nightfall I will either take it again or go back to everyone else. Learning a new way to walk with God feels slow, and my old life keeps telling me to hurry. My friends still expect the old jokes, the late nights, and for me to say yes without thinking, work expects me to be on all the time. I am trying to follow a gentler rhythm, but I worry about what people will think. I am afraid of letting people down and of being seen as weak. Inside, I doubt my own commitment. Is this real, or am I just pretending? I want to trust, but the pressure from other people keeps pulling me back to doing things the way I used to. Old patterns keep coming back. I wake up and reach for my phone before I even take a breath. I say yes to be liked, then I hide to recover. I keep small rules to feel safe, then I break them when no one is looking. I plan to pray for 10 minutes, but my mind keeps wandering to other distractions. I promise to rest, then I end up chasing one more task. Boundaries feel like walls rather than something good, and I find myself looking past them at what I think I have lost. People ask me if I am still fun, still brave, still myself, and my chest tightens. I try to be outgoing during the day and shut down at night. It splits me. I sleep lightly. Joy does not feel real. I start to feel that God is distant or angry. The new way feels unstable, and I want to go back. Then in the middle of the noise, a small voice speaks up and steadies me. I remember that your words help me take the next step. They do not show the whole road ahead. That is enough. I breathe out and listen. I put the phone face down and breathe a simple prayer. Jesus, lead me. I open the page and let one line guide me. I say a gentle no to a demand that would steal my peace. I forgive quickly and keep my words clean, so I do not add more hurt. Little by little, the path starts to feel alive. The fence I used to fear turns out to be a gate into a small garden. I feel a promise deep down. Come to me, and I will give you rest, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Obedience does not feel heavy here. It fits, and my strength grows steadily. Then a tough day comes to test it. A shortcut at work looks easy and tempting, but I give a slow yes, and my heart stays calm. A friend wants the old me, but I speak honestly and kindly, and the friendship holds. I remember the story of manna and how there was just enough for the day. This way is simple, not soft. It makes me stronger and steadier, and I'm okay with that. Today, choose one small step along a simple path. Call one boundary a door instead of a wall. Quietly say, Jesus, teach me to walk. Let a single clear line guide your feet. Then take the step and keep breathing, yes. The morning light is on the kitchen floor and I laugh without thinking. Then I stop because I am suddenly afraid of what that laugh means. I feel like I cannot afford to be happy, so I freeze with my hand on the door. Part of me wants to hide. Part of me wants to step closer and see what happens. Since I stopped trying to control everything, peace keeps coming around, but I do not know how to let it stay. There is a voice in my head that says, you did not earn this. Be careful. Smile small. Wait for the bill. I feel guilty when my heart is light. Like I am avoiding the pain that other people carry. I worry that God will take back what was given. So I keep joy at a distance and call it wisdom. Whenever I start to feel happy, I immediately look for what could go wrong. I check my phone for bad news. I run through my failures in my head, so I am not surprised. I make small bargains with myself, promising to work harder, help more, pray longer, so I do not feel undeserving of this. My smile is tidy but small, and inside I'm ready to leave at any moment. Friends tell me to rest, but I take on extra tasks I do not need just to prove I'm not soft. I worry that if I laugh too loud, something will go wrong. I push joy away before it can settle. Little by little, my sense of wonder fades. Love starts to feel distant. Peace seems like a rumor. I end up tired again. Then a quiet thought comes up. What if joy is not something you earn but a gift? Not a trap but a shelter. Not something that takes from you but something that lets you rest. Like when a child leans into someone and is held. I try it out. When gladness comes, I do not flinch. I take a slow breath and say thank you. I accept it. I let my shoulders drop and sit with the moment without trying to earn it. When guilt knocks, I tell it, this is grace, not a payment. He said, stay with me, and you will bear fruit, so I rest and trust instead of pushing myself. He leads me beside quiet water, so I drink without apology. I remember that the joy of the Lord is my strength, not a crime. I invite Jesus into the moment, not to judge, but to share it. And something steady supports me from behind. I try this for days. Joy still comes and goes, but I no longer chase it or fear it. I notice things I did not plan, deeper sleep, kinder words, laughter that feels relaxed. Storms still arrive, yet the ground does not move beneath me. Every morning brings a small mercy, and I begin to believe it. Friends say the same, you seem lighter. And I am, because I am no longer waiting for loss. If a little joy shows up today, do not talk it down. Let the light touch your face. Breathe. Say thank you, Jesus. Say I receive. Keep the door open and let grace hold you. This is not stolen. This is home. It is dawn and the kitchen is quiet. I set my plans on the counter, breathe out, and say they are yours. Then I leave with empty hands. My steps feel light, almost free. Staying there is hard. Freedom starts to slip away when pride comes back. After a win, my chest lifts and I try to be in control again. I stop asking for help and I rush ahead, moving through the day with my guard up. My phone pulls my attention, people praise me, and I begin to believe I have to handle everything myself. I notice my chest tightening, my prayers feel thin. Letting go becomes something I remember instead of something I live. I keep falling back into the same old patterns. By noon I am rushing to catch up. Traffic, messages, constant noise. I try to stay in control with lists and rules and more effort. I say I trust God, but my jaw is tight. I measure my value by how much I finish. I make quick promises and push other people to move faster. At night, I cannot sleep. My thoughts keep circling and I cannot quiet them. I try a new planner, another podcast, louder music, a stricter plan. For a little while I feel strong, then the weight comes back and it feels heavier. I try to be brave and steady, then I look at what worries me, and I fall apart. Fear tightens my chest. I tell myself this is freedom, but it feels like a trap that looks harmless. I wake up feeling the weight again. What if guarding freedom is not a big promise, but saying yes in small ways, again and again? It is not about my grip, but about trusting his hand. He keeps asking me to stay, to live one day at a time, to step with him one step. I do not have to get it all right at once. I just have to keep showing up. I follow a simple routine. In the morning I open my hands and say, Father, I am yours, lead me today. Before I make a choice I pause and ask, what is your way? When plans change I keep my hands open and hand my worries to him one at a time. I remember that he said his yoke is easy and his burden is light. I stay close to him. I try not to hold grudges. I apologize quickly and I thank him for the small things. I take 10 slow, honest breaths. That keeps me humble and near. It helps protect the freedom he gave me. My purpose stays simple and my steps stay clear. It helps me more than I expected, and the house feels calmer. Arguments stop sooner, and I choose fewer things that fit better. Some parts of my life end, and kinder things begin. Sleep comes back, and joy returns without forcing it. I wake to small kindnesses and a quieter morning. By noon, I remember to breathe and to say I am yours again. I am not perfect, but I am held. And the people near me begin to rest too. Try it now. Open your hands and say quietly that what you are holding belongs to God and not to you. Pick one small yes today. Let go of one thing that feels heavy. Do the same tomorrow. Go to God and rest. Share that rest with one person. When you hand over control of your life, you begin to feel more free.